Hi guys, welcome back to another video. We took 2 trades this week. I'll be breaking down those trades with you guys. I made some mistakes, so I will be talking to you guys about that and giving you guys a lesson on how to avoid it at the end of the video, so stay tuned for that. Other than that, you guys know I'm doing my 100K Aqua Funded series, so I will be showing you guys every trade, or at least giving you guys a live recording of every trade, so you guys can see right now to the left of me, TP is about to get hit. And let's break this trade down right now. All right guys, so all my trades were on gold this week, so you won't be just getting a strategy, you will be actually understanding the way the market moves by just seeing how I'm trading with the wave. So let me show you guys that right now. Let's start from the daily time frame. I will say you can only use the 5-minute, but I do like to use top-down analysis personally because it does allow me to get bigger rewards, or at least a greater risk to reward. Sorry if I sound stuffy because I got allergies, but we're on the daily chart right now, and you guys can see we have a daily range. With this daily range, we know we can't be trying to hold too long into like daily levels because we don't know if it actually respect it. So what do? We see that price did give us a deep pullback, but at the same time, it did hit this head too, because you can look at this. And this is why you do have to respect the range. So what I did is understand, I put my level right here, but I knew I wasn't going to be looking at it like a strong level. Now I would want to use it as a confluence to then go and hold to the highs. No, I want to use it as a way to see and understand price action on the higher time frame. So when I drop down, I can see the whole picture clearly. So by that, what I mean by that, you guys can see this is last week. Last week, this is what we traded in. This is this week coming in on Monday. Price hit this level. You can see it hit the level. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to just go over price. I don't know if price wants to go back to the top. If it shows me signs, then I'll follow it. But other than that, I'm not going to force it. So what happened is price bounced to this level. Price pushed up, giving us the supply and demand zone on the 4-hour chart. You guys can see the supply and demand zone right here. So this is a 4-hour chart, supply and demand zone. And if you're thinking, oh, it's an uptrend on the daily chart, uptrend on the 4-hour chart, why does it look like you're counter trading? You'll see. So we go down to the hour chart. This is a breakout right here. So now we're at the 5-minute chart. And what we can see is price had a breakout. Plus, it was coming low and coming close to these 5-minute precession lows, which then at this point we can anticipate the breakout. And I actually missed this trade. I missed this trade. I should have taken this trade. I could have definitely I could have passed the challenge on this trade, which is another mistake. But you guys will see the same mistake coming up later in the video. So let's move on to Tuesday. Tuesday, I came in and I held through. So the last trade, you guys can see what I was doing was I was anticipating the retest on the 4-hour chart. Even though it hit the daily deep pullback, 4-hour gave us like a 1, 2, 3 and then push up. I knew that, okay, if price gives us a breakout to the downside, I'm going to take that breakout because I'm going whichever way the trend wants to go. And then me knowing that supply and demand zone is right there, I know, okay, I can scout to that supply and demand zone. So what I did, I obviously missed that trade. But when the next day came in, I knew, okay, price is at that supply and demand zone. You know what I'm saying? So what I seen was price give us this engulf candle. You can see right here. This is the 4-hour chart again. Price gave us this engulf candle. It went around this black candle, engulfed the candle, and it turned that into a setup candle. At this point, with it being a setup candle, if we're going to go and counter trend it, we should be anticipating price to stop out that candle. So we go down to the 5-minute. What do we see? There's a little breakout right here. 5-minute pre-session breakout right here. You guys can see this 5-minute pre-session breakout. Price went down, went up. And when it breaks out the pre-session levels, the highs and lows, it's usually a strong sign that price wants to continue trending in that direction. So what do? We use it as another confluence. Then we see a supply demand zone right outside of this breakout. Plus we see price did like a bounce, put a trend line here, and we see a 5-minute breakout, which then created the zone right outside of the breakout. That's 3 confluences. The price gives us a pullback, gave us a nice. Sorry about that. So you guys can see we got this bearish candle, and I actually end up getting in late once again, which you guys see there's the same mistake coming into the next trade. But what I did is I went to the lower time frame on the 1-minute chart, and I was able to restructure. You guys can see price was consolidating a bit. On the lower time frame, these were highs and lows, highs and lows, highs and lows. So I was able to put my stop loss. You guys can see actually when you look closely, you can see price has this white candle. That was a high on the lower time frame, and then price went down, went up, went down, went up. You can see price never went above this high, never went above this high, never went above this high. It wicks right here, so yes, but then you can see price end up engulfing that candle and then continuing to the downside. So what I did is I just got in and I just held it. Simple as that. You go to the 4-hour chart, and what do you guys see? Price ended up getting stopped out at the bottom. And if you're wondering how that's a good trade, you guys can see price did have a supply and demand zone. So I knew that, okay, price already gave us reaction at this level. If it broke through, it broke through. You guys can see that our demand zone now turned into a supply zone where it flipped, and that's what we're anticipating to the downside. So then we come into the next day, price once again comes back up, and these supply zones and demand zones are all lining up right now. So when price breaks through, I'm watching that. So let's go to the 5-minute chart. And Wednesday, price broke through, you guys can see, but we never got a pullback. We never got any valid pullback to this lows. So I'm going to just put this here for now, but you guys can see we never got a pullback to these lows. This is the first zone right outside that breakout, and this is the second zone. This being the second zone, we're not looking to play the third zones because third, fourth, fifth pullbacks because it's late in the trend. Price is ranging and you get stop outs more than usual. So we're just looking for a nice clean first and second pullback. So we didn't trade that day. So we move on to Thursday. Price, at this point, let's go back to the 4-hour. And you guys can see we don't have to go back to the daily time frame because price is clearly still sitting at this level. Let's put our supply and demand zone back. So this is our 4-hour supply and demand zone. So you guys can see price give us a bearish candle right here. With price giving us a bearish candle, what are we looking for? We're treating that as a sell. So you guys can see price give us a bearish candle right here. So you guys can see price give us a bearish candle right here. So what are we doing? We're putting our trend line here. We're going to go down to the lower time frame. That is a 4-hour setup candle. So at this point, we're anticipating price to go to the downside, correct? Yeah, but there is exceptions. And I'm going to show you guys that right now. So when price goes down, we know that, okay, trend line break, we want to pull back. So this is that last candle. Last candle. This is on the hour chart, 1-hour zone, and it's an hour pullback. So we're anticipating that pullback. If price gave us a sign to the downside, we would have taken it. But we see price trend line goes up, went up, high, low, high, and it gave us two connections right here. So we see it's clearly a breakout. And if price wants to break out and go to that higher time frame supply and demand zone, we're going to look for that because you guys can see that's our bread and butter play. That's exactly what happened on Monday, and that's exactly what happened on Tuesday. Right here, this is actually the supply and demand setup, which is my reverse supply and demand setup. And what price do? Price came, bounced up here. You might say, why aren't you getting right here? Because this is a 1-candle push. We don't want 1-candle pushes. We want 2, 3, 4-candle pushes. So when we get this push up here and then a strong push down, we can see price give us this wicks right here. That's very weak sign. So let me move this stuff out the way so it's clear. And let me show you guys something too. So then you guys can see right here now, you guys can see we have a 5-minute pre-session breakout. Same thing. And this is why I say you could use the 5-minute chart by itself if you wanted to, but with more confluence, it gives you way more confidence. And if you have the technical skill and abilities, why not do that? You know what I'm saying? Why not do it? Why not be able to pass prop firms or build your personal account, whatever you need to do, whatever your plan is, whatever your goal is, why not do what you need to do to achieve it? You know what I'm saying? So increasing your technical abilities and improving your psychology is never going to hurt. And that's why I recently implemented this into my strategy. So now I can hold for longer risk rewards. So I can start going for 2-to-1 fixed. Anyways, price pulls back, gives us a bullish candle. We take that entry, price goes up. In reality, I actually entered up here and got a 1-to-1 because I actually woke up late and then I came back to the charts and it was already like 10 o'clock and price gave us this big candle right here. I got lucky on Tuesday because price actually ranged around this zone. So when I got in late, I was able to still get into the move while it still was building up. And that's pretty much the mistake I made. And you guys can see this trade right here. I was putting right here on the corner. You guys can see it right now. TP is about to get hit. So we move on to Friday, and that's today. Right now, as I speak, market is live or 927. Price broke out his 5-minute pre-session. The same strategy. You know what I'm saying? Same strategy. Stick to the plan. Why would we not have taken this trade right here? Because price closed below. It never, or my fault, it never closed below. Price came and it was only 1 candle, and it never closed below on the second candle. So it's still a 1 candle. We need 1, 2, or 2 to 3, 4 candle push outside the zone to make it a valid zone. So this right here, if someone entered right here, they'll be FOMOing, revenging, forcing whatever is inside of them internally, what will be manifesting into their trading results as we speak right now. So watch how you feel, write down your thoughts, journal your thoughts. Price is pushing up. It might break out of this precession and give us a reverse, but that's really it for the video. I just want to show you guys, I took all my trades on gold this week. And gold been moving nicely, very clean setups. So I hope you guys seen what I meant by going with the waves, going with the waves. And as I zoom out, you guys can see price has been ranging, but price, we took that price down. Go up, price goes down, price goes up. You guys can see it breaks this trend line, price goes down, price goes up, we take it to the highs. And what did price do immediately? Soon as it wicks this candle, soon as it wicks this high, it shot right down. Price went down, and now what are we doing? Now we're reacting to it in real time, and we're gonna just have to wait and see what the market wants to show us. If you guys also want to see me take these trades in real time too, join the Discord, link in the description. If you guys got any value from this video, subscribe so I know that you guys are actually learning from it, and it gives me a reason to keep making these videos. Other than that, you guys know the deal. Take risks.